Hello, welcome back. And now we are going to see the next one example with respect to Python Jupyter Notebook. It's nothing but working with list. And in this, we have to include one number in X. We have to define some of the random number in X. So X list is equals to square bracket and some random number you can define this 1, 2, 3, 4, or I will just write one more number like 5 and 6. Okay, so random numbers can be get calculated or just you can have to define over here. Okay, and then you have to just mention the next command, that is the X list. Okay, so what is the numbers are there in the X list in the square bracket will get printed. So this call as the okay, so I have to just run the one by one. Okay, now you can see that the numbers which are there in the X list has been defined. Okay, so like this you can also include any numbers like a Y list, anything you can just give, or you can just write as a data, and then you can write the same thing. Okay, copy, and then you can mention as the data list. Okay, so I have a data list, and then if you just by adding a cell you have to just write this. So I will just write I need a data list, okay, which is over here. So it will get printed in your next cell. That is a simple. Okay, so that is again a data list. So here you can give any name, X list, data list, Y list. Okay, any names can be defined over here, and in that a random number of list in the form of numbers can be defined. Okay, if you want to include varchar data, okay, the characteristics data, so that time you have to include in the inverted comma. Okay, so this is regarding working with list. So when we have another example with contain the concatenation. Okay, so concatenation is nothing but adding the numbers which are there in X and Y. Okay, you can add, you can multiply, anything you can do. So whatever the numbers are there in X and Y, you can just concatenate that. So that is called as a concatenation. So again in X, we have defined some random numbers and we have included the semicolon. You can include the semicolon or you can ignore that, anything we can do. So we are going to run the cell. Okay, so it has recognized properly, and what we are telling is nothing but in the next cell X plus Y. Okay, we are going to run that. Okay, so it has just concatenated, it has not add 1 plus 5 or 2 plus 6, it has just added X data set to Y data sets. Okay, that is called as a concatenation. So that is how we can do using this concatenation, which is mentioned in this particular example. Okay, so like this, if you have any of the data within in the form of CSV file format or anything what you have, so you want to just add one of the data with respect to another, so that also you can do using a concatenation using Python. Okay, so here is a sum of list one example. Okay, NP is the sum of X. So X, you have to just define, okay, here it has mentioned that we have to include one of the numpy. Okay, so we have to write import numpy as NP. Okay, if I run that, then I will use this cut and I will just paste here and I'll run the cell. Okay, so here it is given as the 10. So like this, anything number of list can be just printed. Okay, like this, how you can just use this particular Jupyter notebook for in the form of working with list using concatenation and also sum of the list in the number. Okay, so stay tuned for much more videos with respect to future omics.